Everything is a choice and has consequences. Whether good or bad, the choices you make today impact you later on in life. But for most people, they ignore this idea and would rather choose to sacrifice a better tomorrow for today's instant gratification pleasures. Prioritize your future self, not you today. So off rip, I want you to understand that anything that involves the way you look, the way you feel, or the position you're currently in life is all an accumulation of younger you's actions. So if you're overweight, broke, addicted to drugs, partying, or even video games, it's all a result of younger you sacrificing you to instant gratification instead of them practicing delayed gratification. And this is the main premise I want to go over in this video of understanding delayed gratification and instant gratification, basically the foundation of self-improvement, right? And so to explain this in a better way for you to understand it, we're going to use the marshmallow experiment. So basically there was an experiment done in Stanford University called the marshmallow experiment, where basically the teacher left a marshmallow in the room for the kids to eat. But here's the thing, before he left the room, he basically told the kids, hey, you could have this marshmallow now, or you could wait 20 minutes until I come back and then I'll bring a second one. And then you can enjoy yourself and have 2 marshmallows instead of 1. But here's the thing, if you eat this marshmallow now, you're not getting later. He didn't actually say you're not getting but the fact of the matter is, if the kids ate the marshmallow now, they wouldn't get the second marshmallow later on when he came back. And so fast forward, the teacher comes back into the room and finds out that 2 out of how many more so kids were in the room did not eat the marshmallow. And so as a result of those 2 kids not eating the marshmallow and the rest of their peers eating it, they of course got the second marshmallow, right? And so what the teacher came to notice is that these kids display traits of having delayed gratification. And so those same 2 kids were later found to be more successful and better off in life compared to their peers who chose the instant gratification pleasures of now. So now that you understand that your actions today impact you tomorrow, you need to get past the initial temporary discomfort of today, like for example, going to the gym, choosing the healthier diet over the cheap meal that you were gonna consume today, or just scrolling on social media or watching Netflix, basically just submerging yourself into instant pleasures that don't even serve you like most people. Even right now, I didn't even feel like recording. I didn't even want to record. I was just sitting around moping around, but I knew if I just got up and started recording, 1, I could give value to you guys, and 2, I'd put future me in a better position where he doesn't have to worry about the work. And by you choosing the delayed gratification path, that leads to a better outcome. And that's the same way you got to look at it when it comes to you and your success. You got to stop prioritizing you today and think about how future you is going to feel tomorrow, because they're looking at you right now. It's like, what the are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you putting me in this position? That's the thing that most people don't take into consideration, because all they like to do is just live in the now. They just like to think about what type of pleasure can I derive from this thing right now. I don't care about how I'm gonna feel later. I can just recover or feel fine the next day. Bullshit. That's self-sabotaging. And if you're anything like me and you're on self-improvement, that's not the type of life that you want to live. And the thing is, bro, if you truly do respect yourself, just understand that the ultimate form of self-love is prioritizing you tomorrow and sacrificing you today so you tomorrow can thrive. And one concept I want you to understand when you're choosing between instant gratification and delayed gratification is this thing called the happiness paradox. You guys about to learn some shit right now. And basically what the happiness paradox is basically like when people tend to choose easier activities that'll bring them that pleasure now, but will later pay the price for it later on down the line, versus something that actually gonna test their capabilities and help them grow exponentially. So for example, you have the choice between a healthier Whole Foods diet versus Chick-fil-A or McDonald's. Most people would choose the Chick-fil-A and McDonald's meal. Why? Because they want to get that sweet tasting seed oil taste on their tongues. They don't care how much calories are in that shit or how much nasty ingredients are in that or how shitty they're gonna feel. They just want to feel good in that instant moment, right? Versus the Whole Foods that is, 1, nutritious for them, could help them lose weight, and is overall a better option for them, even in terms of like just health wise. But most people would rather choose this. And this is the happiness paradox coming into play, because people think about how much stimulation they can get from this thing to alter their state of mind rather than the thing that's going to challenge them the most. So for example, the gym is initially uncomfortable, but then you're not going to regret it later on. It's going to test your capabilities and how much disciplined you are as an individual. And so you got to have this level of self-respect going on for you, where like you prioritize what future you want versus what you want right now. Because here's the thing, we understand that we all have desires, we all have vices that we want to go to that we know feels good, but is later on gonna be shitty for us later on. You're not in any position to make justifications or excuses or say 1 hour of video games productive for me, or just 1 cheat meal won't hurt, when you keep doing it multiple times. Like, I swear, people who are the most addicted to these instant gratification stuff find the best excuses to make for these things to stay in their lives. And that's very delusional. You trying to convince yourself that these things are productive even though it's making you unhappy. Like initially it makes you happy in the moment, but then it's like you get post-nut clarity from it. That stuff don't do shit. Like, for example, you see my physique, right? I think I'm in pretty good shape. I think some of you guys can agree too. If you do agree, comment below. But like, I look the way I do right now because I didn't put in the work. Younger me from months, years of just grinding in the gym, putting in the work for me to look the way I do right now. I didn't put on this muscle. He did. With me, I'm the happiest when I'm working on something meaningful, or I'm creating something or sculpting a body that I'm proud of. And likewise, when I'm creating something like this and giving value to you guys and putting something out there that didn't exist prior. Not just that, I know by me doing this and putting in the work will directly correlate to me living the life I desire and increase the quality of my life. And this is the same way you gotta look at it when you're choosing between delayed gratification and instant gratification. Delayed gratification becomes higher priority and, to be honest, much better than you just binge watching Netflix or watching pointless shit that doesn't serve you. All delayed gratification is just an accumulation of taking opportunities through the initial discomfort and thinking long term. And to think long term, this is gonna sound autistic, but you should do this, right? I do this all the time before I make a decision on anything. You need to ask yourself, if you were to do this today, this specific activity, eat this certain meal, or make a choice, because you make millions of choices a day. Hell, you made a choice to watch me, which I'm grateful for, and you should probably hit the like button if you're finding value from this already. Ask yourself, how will this impact me tomorrow before you do anything or make any decision? So weigh it in terms of how much it's going to affect your daily life. Like, take into consideration the pros and the cons. If the pros outweighs the cons, okay, go for it. But if you know deep down, and don't lie to yourself too, because some people like to be in denial and convince themselves about things that they know are bad for them, but they'll try to convince themselves that it is good for them. For example, weed. They'll be like, oh, weed is, it helps with like being more introspective. Shut up. I don't want to hear that shit. So if you know like the cons outweighs the pros, try to abstain from it. Or even if you are about to do the instant gratification thing, at least have the humility to admit to yourself that what you're about to do is not the best option. I feel like I would respect you a lot more if you admit it to yourself rather than trying to make excuses and justifications about why this is good. And again, I want to reiterate, by you practicing this act of delayed gratification and actually like being introspective about your choices that you're making, this sets you apart from majority of people who only think about the pleasures they could derive today from the instant gratification activity rather than the delayed gratification activity that's going to put them in a better position. Most people don't think that way. You look at somebody, you could just tell it's an accumulation of the bad choices that they made. It's the reason why people are not satisfied with the things in their lives. People are not satisfied with their jobs. People are not satisfied with their spouses. People are not satisfied with the lifestyle that they chose. Everything comes down to a choice. Understand that delayed gratification is synonymous and an integral part to living a more fulfilling life. So if you do respect yourself and you love yourself and have a burning desire to want to change, this is your sign. Practice delayed gratification and get on self-improvement. And that's basically it. That's all you have to do. But once you understand this and have this a part of your life on a daily basis, bro, self-improvement becomes so much easier to understand and do effortlessly. You feel what I'm saying? It all comes down to you. Practice delayed gratification. That's it. If you guys found value from this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Dream big and take action. I'm gonna see you guys. Peace.